While I'm 41, I have no friends, and I know why. And to be honest, I'm pretty contented with life as it is. I feel okay. And when I say that I don't have friends, I'll actually need to rephrase that to say that I have lost most of my friends. And this by no means is a reflection of what my friends have done or not done. So, to be honest, this is entirely something that I brought on myself. I didn't plan to find myself in this situation at this time of the year, feeling like I have lost all of my friends. And trust me, I have normally been, I wouldn't say the most popular girl, but I have really never lacked friends. Thinking about childhood, early teens, and university days to my 20s, having kids, my 30s, living like a married woman, I've always had a lot of friends. But I've noticed very recently, over the past 5 years, that my friendships has really become like like a funnel. And I've used this adjective several times recently to describe how things are just going this way, from having a lot to reducing, and some of this is just by accident. But let me not rush into this. I'm going to tell you guys today what I have learned losing my friends, accidentally or not. What that has shown me, I've had 6 months to almost live like a monk. I'm not in any, way saying that I have been deliberately living like a monk, but circumstances in my life made me to get to this point. And the things that I've learned in terms of friendships and losing them, I would never ever have known this if things did not happen this way. But don't get me wrong. Although I had a lot of friends, the people I call friends are friends. I have others in my life who are like family or like sisters, But although I had people, I've always felt that I couldn't connect with a lot of people because just with nature, the way life was for me, I unfortunately, or would I say fortunately, the way my life with my parents moved a lot, and I did not, how people have where they were born, the primary school they went to, the nursery schools, the nursery friendships. I don't have any of that. I lost all of that because my parents moved cities. I was born in the northern part of Nigeria in Kano. I spent my first 7, 8 years of my life there. Then we moved to Benin City, spent 4 years, or no, actually 3 years, and moved again. But what that did was I lost most of my valuable friends or like my baby friends. I have like two or three names in my head. I still see like class picture of nursery and like class one and class two, but I cannot identify anybody, so I lost them. And we're talking now the mid 80s when there was no form of technology at all, except I don't even know how we communicated back then when we met in school. So there was no way I could keep track of my friends. Moved to the other city, and this story is funny because my parents did not really tell us that we were moving or immigrating, moving countries. So we were just told that we were going on holiday. So we did not need to exchange numbers or whatever, or get parents to. We knew that we're going on holiday and we never went back. That is one of the traumas that I've had to deal with growing up. And then I went to a brand new country again and I started building relationships. I never really fit. I did not feel like I could fit in. And we were so different. I had long hair and that everybody else had short hair. I had a very strong accent. Nobody else had that accent like me. I had no friends except family. We just stood out different. Our names sounded different. And it was a struggle for me to feel like I fitted in. So because of that, I will tend to want to overcompensate. I want to maybe, you know, look for friends or I don't know, I want to use the word forced friendships. Either I was very popular or not. But when I went to boarding school, I struggled because if you've ever been to boarding school in Africa, there is a lot of segregation of who you are, who your family is, who knows you, and we were no name. We just moved countries. Our parents were trying to settle down, and that brought another challenge of being bullied. I was very, very dark skinned. So with time, my character started showing. I remember I had a personality, but this is the first lesson I should have learned is some people came to me after my parents kind of settled. and maybe we became something. I don't know. There are others who came to them because of maybe I had brothers that were popular. There was always this feeling that I had that I was looking, because I don't have a sister. I was looking for a sister friendship. I was looking to connect with somebody really deep. And on the other hand, a lot of people just hung around me for different reasons. And that's when I realized that I should have known about friends who are not genuine and who take advantage of people of what for what they can gain. But I was too young to learn all of that. Anyway, let's fast forward to now. I lost most of my friends this year, and in the end of the year, towards the and I cannot say I've lost them because they're still there. When we'll see, we'll vibe. But I deliberately decided to shut down. I shut down because I got attacked from every angle, not physically attacked or deliberately. My home got attacked in ways that is too deep for me to ever explain at the moment. I went through a very difficult time at work. One of my kids fell very ill, and I couldn't cope with any pressures from anywhere because I had trust issues, and I just gradually went into a hole. I did not push anybody, but nature did its job. You know, when they say that you need to trust the process, honestly, I'm learning to trust the process because God did it for me. He kept people in my life that He knew I needed. And I did not need to do anything. I did not have any argument with anybody. Nature just played its course. Some people have stayed because they are not even friends, they're family. But others have just moved because they were meant to. This, you know what they say, when you need to move directions in life, when God wants to maybe elevate you, when your purpose has been found, certain people cannot move with you. And that's not a lie. That is a fact. And I am not saying that I'm where I need to be, but I'm seeing the progress I'm making. And I believe that there is a reason. You know, this Christmas was the first, by the way, Merry Christmas, everybody. How rude of me not to say hello. Hi. If this is the first time that you've clicked on one of my videos, my name is Lulu and this is Lulu Diaries. I hope you had a fantastic Christmas. And for me, this was the first Christmas where I deliberately chose to spend it with my family because we just did not want any contact with the outside world while trying to heal our home. And I did not really make any rules. I did not call. I did not have any issues. I planned that I'll text people on Christmas Day. But this year, on Christmas Eve, I struggled to take myself out to do some last minute grocery shopping to prepare for Christmas. And that night, three people, and I'll call them my sisters, one of them my little sister, and the other two people who are so dear to me, without asking, one of them actually left the food and drove off. And from me not even knowing what to do, another of my sisters spiced me a whole turkey with potatoes and brought it to my home. And I was just sat there saying with the whole thing with drinks for the kids, with a three, basically I had like a 4-course meal from people. And this is the first year that I've wanted to be by myself or not have any contact. And that's when I knew that, my goodness, you can only do what you can do, but God has the last say. Because He knew what I needed. I was going through such a difficult day on that 24th. And He came through in a way that I cannot even believe. On the only year that I insisted not to have any outside contact, I was waiting my time because my friends and my sisters surprised me. And what I want to say that I've learned most about losing my friends is I have also learned to love one person I neglected, and that's me. In constantly wanting to get approval from your friends, in constantly wanting to please them, constantly wanting to please everybody. Being my hands are generally always full with the big family, but wanting to please your friends, wanting to show up for them, I neglected me. I forgot what it means to love me. Self-love became something that it was luxury. I had to look for it. I did not really appreciate my strengths. I did not appreciate my struggles. I did not appreciate my past trauma. And I was neglecting myself to the point that it was so obvious that I needed some love, self-love. And that's what spending time alone gave me. I don't think that if I had all of my friends around me, like the way it was at the beginning of the year, I would have coped to get to the point where there's been self-reflection, self-fulfillment, self-healing, and self-discovery. So When you have time to be by yourself is when you can be most creative. Is when you can really understand what you need in life. You can understand what is important to you and just spend some time talking to yourself in silence. And if you've had a problem with being by yourself, then this is a good experiment if you can take it to spend some time deliberately alone and discover the things about you that you forgot, things that make you unique, things that brings your creative side, things that everybody people might not even know that you have. And that's exactly what losing my friends did to me. The other thing is, I also learned that setting boundaries is something that I always talked about it, but I did not really practice what I said. And the way I set my boundaries is just by being able to say no. I know that a few months ago, if somebody had asked me a question, I would not be able to directly answer, especially if it was going to be negative. I'll say, oh, I'll get back to you, or I'm not really sure. But now I just say no, or yes, or please. And something I want to share, one of my very closest friends, I can say she's like a sister, came around where I live, and I was having a difficult personal family thing going on. And I remember saying to her, I'm sorry, I cannot see you. I know this is killing you. We've not seen in a few months, but unfortunately, I come first. I cannot. That's one thing that I've learned to be able to say no because I have had time to think about the fact that anything could have happened to me and it's in understanding what is important. And because I'm so used to spending time by myself, I'm able to say no to visits if I don't think that I need it, and I will be able to take it if you give it to me. If I asked to visit a friend and she said no, I would not take it personal anymore. That's the kind of growth I've had. And setting boundaries is not just saying yes or no. It's also knowing, making sure that people don't get angry with you. There's a time in my life, honestly, that I'll have a particular friend ring me, and if I don't pick up that call, I'll have to justify not picking it up. I'll have to explain myself. It is the worst thing. I hate to explain myself. And people like that, more and more, I distance myself because the energy is not what I need to be doing. I need to be talking about creative things, not talking about why I couldn't pick up your call or why I missed your call. I have stopped all of that. And if I get any sort of hint from anybody that I'm hanging around that makes me feel like I need to justify, I walk, I go, I use the scissors and I cut off. The other thing that I've learned during this time of no friends or losing most of my friends is I've learned that energy, your energy is everything. Just experiment this and tell me the results. Just think about the person that you speak to the most in your life. Think about the person that you spend the most physical time. Forget your partner, your family, external. And think about the way they even sound, the language they use, the thought process, what the aims are, what they talk about, and then look at yourself and see if you guys are not a mirror. That's what we can see superficial. There's another layer down, which is the layer of energy. The energy, they say, let your tribe be your vibe. If I feel like we don't have things in common, there's no reason. And what this has done is that it's preserved my energy. My energy has been kept so pure. If I feel like I'm basking in negativity, it stays with me. I don't pass it to the next person. And if I feel like I'm basking in positivity, I don't get it sapped away from me. So that's one thing that being by myself without friends has taught me, that I reserve my energy. If it's good, it stays good. It doesn't get diluted. I don't have to change my vibe to suit a situation because those who are my people just fit in me. And I'm going to talk about this. It's really sad because the one person in my life, I had a very, very, very close friend. And she was a sister. She was the sister that God gave me that I'd never had. And we were so close. Talking about her, I get emotional. We're so close. And I unfortunately lost her when I was only 18. In fact, she came to celebrate my 18th birthday, my 17th birthday when I was in uni, my first year with my parents. That's how close we were. And she died the summer later in July, just before her birthday. And I have really never found anybody to replace that kind of vibe. somebody who could finish my sentences, who will talk about the past. We've been talked about death together. And now, I'm not having a sister. I feel like I lost my sister, but it doesn't mean that I cannot move on. But it means that finding people at this age who you can connect with, have the same energy, is so difficult. So those that I have currently that I say that are not friends, are like family, I'll keep them. And if I'm making new relationship, new acquaintances, I look first about your vibe, your energy. Are you negative? Are you always complaining? Are you in a place in your life where you cannot see any good in relationships, in people? I don't want to go around that. And that's what being myself has taught me. And it's a bit sad. I'm not saying that if you have a friend that is going through difficult patch, you need to abandon them. But it's just that you need to see what is important and see how much energy or how much of your space you want to preserve. I am in the place in my life now where I have accommodated friends a lot, and now it's about me. It's about. I don't want to keep going on this, but you get the point. You get it. And then the other thing that having no friends has also taught me is that I am enough. When I say I'm enough, I know that I started by saying that I love my space and I'm okay. But there are certain things, the naysayers, there are people who, when you have this idea, you tell them, it becomes a distant memory because they must find something negative. And for me, I'm very non-conventional. I'll share with you guys about my social media life. I'm not keeping it away, but it'll make sense once I share a lot more information in a couple of days. But almost all of my friends, when I said to them, they're like, oh, really? Okay. They will not discourage me, but it's just like social media. Okay. When I talk about wanting a career in the future, here, it's like, really? Okay, get a job though. Get a job as well. Let this be a side thing. They just don't believe in me enough. I even spoke about there was once that I had an opportunity recently to be in a video, in a music video, and I spoke to people and they were all like, "Oh my God, what legacy is that going to leave?" The first thing is always negativity. And I said, I'm not you. You are not me. We have very, very, very different energies that we send out. We have very different purpose. We have very different ways of looking at life. If any of my friends said to me something they were planning to do, the first thing I always do is positive. I'm not saying that I'll just lick the back and say yes if it's not true, but I'll always need to start from a place of understanding where they're coming from and not quickly be negative, because I trust people. I trust the friends that I have are smart enough to make right decisions. So when it comes to me, most times when I mention things to my friends, it's always like, oh, that's a bit risky. Are you sure you have kids? Please don't do it. And all I saw were my dreams shattering all the time. So I don't have that anymore, because I do things in silence. I don't announce anything. I do it and I get things done. What I've done in the past 5 months, I have not done it in about 5 years. And I'm not even done yet. And it's been a difficult time. It's not been 5 months of me doing nothing. It's been a difficult time, emotionally draining, but I've still managed to make such a leap in my mental clarity, my mental health. And the last thing that having no friends has taught me is the fact that I have a lot more time on my hands. I have had a friend in the past who, when I tell this girl that I am not available, she'll always be like, oh, I need to see you. Please, the time that she'll come to my home, and if I don't answer, like when she has a problem with her partner, her boyfriend at the time, it's my problem. I could be in a very good place and then she'll call me and start crying. My day is spoiled, my day is ruined. I would have young kids, doesn't matter, it's about her. It could be like that for weeks, it could be just going round for weeks. If it's an episode, we will start from Monday, we'll carry on to Sunday, everything else, and I have to be talking about it, regurgitating the information, calming her down, forgetting. There's even once that I just had a baby and there was no sensitivity whatsoever what I was going through because she was in a bad place. She needed to see me. There was a day even that I couldn't even go down the stairs because I had a C-section, and she started throwing stones to my window that open. I need to talk to you, and she'll be crying. I'm going to end it. Time that she's threatening to end her, finish herself, and I've had to drive like a maniac and say, please don't. Oh, okay, let's go talk about this. Times that I've even gone to fight for people, fight for her. At times that What a friendship. I've had some sort of crazy times with my friends, and it just takes away the time to be on the phone chatting, especially when you have this friend that likes to gossip. I hope you all like to gossip if you have a friend, but the particular ones that you gossip, the ones that you would. I've even gone on holiday with friends who it's ended up in a very bad state where they've almost called us the police because we're shouting. We're abroad. Like I've had drama with girls, trust me. And the peace that I have now with the few people I call family, words cannot describe it. And I really wish that if you're watching this video and you're at a place where you feel like there's a lot of drama in your life, you cannot concentrate, time is a problem, you might need to start looking at your friends. And maybe you don't even have to do anything. Just decide what is important and change your whole perspective, change your vibe. And those that are meant to stick with you will come. Those that are meant to fall along the way will also happen. But if you don't make it deliberate, you can find yourself in this web for so long, and years later, you start regretting all of the lost time, all of the insecurities, because that's another thing. They make you insecure with the things that you know you have. They'll make you feel like you need to always justify everything you do. They'll make sure that they sap your energy. All of that, is it worth it? Choose your friends wisely. I'm not saying lose all of your friends, but I'm saying that for me, at this point in my life, I don't owe anybody an explanation except my family. I see my husband and my kids, and it's such a beautiful place to be in. If I want to visit and you don't want to see me, that's fine. If you want to visit me, I'm not in the mood, that's fine. If you want to spend some time out and have fun, I am up for fun. I am normally the life of the party and I'll have fun, but it's on my own terms, and that is the way it should be. But I can tell you that when I was in my 30s, in my 20s, I didn't know what this meant. But I've learned to create those boundaries and understand what it is for me and what I want to achieve in life. This has just been something that I've been thinking about a lot lately. I just thought I'll do a quick video and just share what it's taught me, and maybe it can help somebody get you thinking. I'm sure you all feel like me. What do you think I've left out? Maybe if do you have a lot of friends? Have you lost some? Is it because something you did? Is it deliberate? Is it by accident? And how do you feel about it? Do you feel lonely? The difference between being alone and being lonely. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, I want to see your comments, and if you've not subscribed, please try to do so. I know that I've been missing in action a little bit, but I'm coming back with a bang, and I'll see you in my next video. It's been Lulu. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.